Thank you everyone for joining. Since the song's over, we're gonna get started just a second earlier than I promised, but that is all right. We'll have some time for folks to join. If you haven't already, please go ahead and put this information that's on the screen in the chat, how you would like others to refer to you, your name, pronouns, titles, your role in East St. Louis and ELP, and your favorite songs right now if you have some. My name is Kaylin, my pronouns are they, them, and I am the network manager of the Early Learning Partnership. I will be walking us through our activities today, but really it's meant to be just a space for reflection and discussion. As a final reminder, we are recording today and it is going to be posted on Facebook. So if you don't want your video on, please make sure to turn it off. Our agenda for today is going to be starting off with a little bit of context about why we're talking about music. Why does Week of the Young Child even center on music at all and use that as a topic? We'll have a little bit of space to practice mindfulness. I don't know about y'all, but as I've gotten more into mindfulness, it's become a little bit easier to do. But when I first started, it was really challenging. So hopefully this gives us all a little practice. And then we'll watch a couple of examples of music for development and have some space for journaling, reflection, and just idea generation at the very end. All right, so just to start by answering the question, why music? Why are we talking about that today? It's really that, long story short, it stimulates early learning, early childhood development. And this is probably something that a lot of you are familiar with because I see we have lots of folks from SIUE. It's great to see you and others here. But essentially, bringing music into learning, into social emotional development, into mindfulness, all really supports connections between balance, sensation, vision, essentially mind and body that aren't necessarily going to show up without music. It's not that you can't create those in other ways, but bringing in music is one really simple and straightforward thing to do to help your child or the children in your life to really develop in a strong and healthy way. And so I'm going to challenge us all to practice that, like I said, by doing triangle breathing. This is one of a lot of different methods for practicing mindfulness. And so I encourage you to just Google some different options. Before I give you instructions, I do want to say that any activity we're doing today, we really need to think about modification. They're not going to be appropriate for every single person. For example, if you are someone who has experienced trauma, breathing could be triggering for you. And so there are other things you can do in space of this. For example, you can do a body scan where you're seeing where you feel tension in your shoulders or your neck or your hands, and you're relaxing that. You can use pressure points on your body to bring centeredness to yourself. So just think about those modifications. If there's anything we do today that feels a little off, change it. Find something else that still brings you to thinking of ways that your mind and body are connecting and that are making you feel centered. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is, hopefully you have your activity book in front of you, but if not, maybe find a scrap sheet of paper or pull up your phone. And what I want you to do is draw a triangle like you see on this slide. You're then going to put a dot in the bottom left-hand corner of that triangle where you see the start here on the screen. And that is going to give us a visual cue for our breathing activity. So I'll give you just a second to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our finger or a pen or some other object to trace the triangle as we're breathing, okay? So if we start in this bottom left corner where the start here or our dot is, we are going to breathe in while tracing the left side of the triangle for 3 seconds. Then as we trace the right side of the triangle, we're going to hold our breath for 3 seconds. And then we're going to breathe out for 3 seconds as we trace the bottom. And so I'll walk us through this, but for now, if you haven't, put your finger on the start here portion of the triangle you just drew. And let's start by breathing in for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Hold our breath for 3 seconds as we trace the right side. 2, 3. And then breathe out for 3 seconds as we're tracing the bottom. Okay, let's do that again. Let's breathe in as we trace the left. Hold as we trace the right. and breathe out as we trace the bottom. One more time, breathe in, hold, breathe out, and maybe one last time, just because that'll be nice for me too. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Okay. Thanks everyone for doing that activity. Again, this is just a small way that you can bring mindfulness into your day. There are lots of different methods for breathing that, again, you can look up via Google. But this is one that also brings in fine motor activities, that small muscle movement, as well as recognition of shapes. So there's lots of different ways to sort of think about different developmental domains within this specific activity. If there's anything that really stood out to you about this that you want to throw in the chat, I would encourage you to do so. But what we're going to do is sort of build on this a little bit more by going into an example of how we can take breathing to a new level of self-regulation and emotional wellness. And so we'll do this through a free video on YouTube. I am going to go ahead and play it, but if for some reason you all cannot hear it, let me know. Yeah. Even if I watch the ads beforehand, it's still going to play. So here we go. Let's actually try it now.
Gracie's Corner. There's nothing wrong with feeling mad, nervous, or frustrated. But when you do, give this a try. Just take
My goodness, hold on one second. Let's try to make this work. There we go.
There's nothing wrong with feeling mad, nervous, or frustrated. But when you do, give this a try. Just take a deep breath whenever I get angry. Just take a deep breath, frustrated or I'm mad. Just take a deep breath whenever I feel nervous. Just take a deep breath, afraid or feeling bad. Just take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Just take a deep breath, no need to scream or shout. Just take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Just take a deep breath, now let me show you how. Just take a deep breath, breathe in through your nose, filled with air, your belly grows. As you breathe, just count to 4, then breathe out and count once more. Now we feel relaxed and free, living life so happily. Just take a deep breath whenever I get angry. Just take a deep breath, frustrated or I'm mad. Just take a deep breath whenever I feel nervous. Just take a deep breath, afraid or feeling bad. Just take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Just take a deep breath, no need to scream or shout. Just take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Just take a deep breath, now let me show you how. Just take a deep breath, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathed out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathed in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathed out. Just take a deep breath. Thanks for singing and dancing with me. If you had fun, please click that like button. And
So hopefully you all can see where there's alignment between the activity we just did. But I can tell you, even just from preparing for this activity, that song is in my head. So if we are thinking about it in like a classroom or a home setting, this is something that can really be, music can bring in the sort of repetition that children and that we need to remember something more clearly, right? And we can go back to that a little bit easier. Not only does the breathing help us feel centered, but also we're able to do some counting, which is one way that we can recenter ourselves too, recognizing shapes, recognizing time passing. And so these are just some ways that we're sort of building on that activity we did together, the triangle breathing, to bring in some more developmental areas. The next one I want to show you really links with our activity for today, which I'll talk more about, which is the build your own instrument activity. And so this individual talks about how scarves actually can be used alongside music to build similar skills to instruments. So I will play that and then we'll come back together for some discussion.
Hi, I'm Katie Palmer, Curator of Education, and today we're going to do some scarf activities that you can do at home with your little ones. Scarves are great for little kids because they have positive sensory motor. I like scarves that are very soft to the feel. I like scarves that are colorful, and I also like scarves that are very lightweight so that they can fly and you can blow them. Scarves are good for our fine motor development. They're also good for our spatial reasoning, high versus low. And most importantly, sort of toward the end of some of these exercises, we're gonna do a rhythmic call. Ba-ba-da-da-bum. We're gonna breathe, and then we're gonna blow our scarves. And all of that helps to promote self-regulation, but also our pre-language skills and our syntax skills. So how we put sounds together, whether those are musical sounds or vocabulary. One of the first things I like to do with scarves is free movement without a steady beat. So you can explore the space around you, in front of you, and you can also explore the different levels. You can do this while seated or while standing, and you can use any song for this. The song that I like to use oftentimes is a Korean folk song called Arirang. Now, my Korean's not very good, so I sing this on ba, but you could sing this on la or da or any syllable really, and that would be appropriate for your kiddos. Hold up one scarf. Ba-ba-da-da-bum, bum. The next thing I like to do with scarves is explore beat keeping. So you can do this with two hands. It's good for our bilateral development. But you can do a bunch of different sort of motions, and you can do them at different speeds or tempos. Mulberry bush is a great choice. Oh, this is the way I bounce my scarves, I bounce my scarves, I bounce my scarves. This is the way I bounce my scarves so early in the morning. This is the way I wave my scarves, I wave my scarves, I wave my scarves. This is the way I wave my scarves so early in the morning. This is the way I circle my scarves, I circle my scarves, I circle my scarves. This is the way I circle my scarves so early in the morning. This is the way I scrunch my scarves, I scrunch my scarves, I scrunch my scarves. This is the way I scrunch my scarves so early in the morning. This is the way I throw my scarves, I throw my scarves, I throw my scarves. This is the way I throw my scarves so early in the morning. Next thing I like to do with scarves, particularly as the kids get older, is explore the shapes and the colors of the scarves. And we can do this in a variety of ways, but we can also do it so that we promote some bilateral development. So in this case, I have a red square in front of me. I'm going to take my bottom two corners of my square, I'm going to fold them up into a rectangle. My rectangle is a little big, so I'd like to fold it in half by taking the bottom two corners and folding them up one more time. I have a nice small rectangle now. I'm going to take my beanbag. Beanbags come in a variety of shapes and sizes and colors and materials. In this case, I just happen to have a green circle. I'm going to put it right in the middle. And then I'm going to use two hands. I'm going to pick it up on either side for my bilateral development. I'm going to try to rock my beanbag back and forth. Any song works, once again, but in this case, I'm going to use a Japanese lullaby called Sakura. Move your hands close together. Ba ba da da bum bum bum.
So there you all saw a variety of different ways that you can bring singing in to make an activity more centered around music. But then there are really endless ways that you can do that in spaces of transition, in fine and gross motor, as the speaker was talking about, with art, with numeracy, with literacy. And so what I'm hoping you all will do now is take a couple of minutes to just do some journaling and reflection about this video, just 2 or 3 minutes, where you're answering what you liked about the videos, how you could use them in your family or classroom, and how you could modify them for children with different learning styles or disabled children. And so I'll play one more song. As that song is playing, I encourage you to reflect and journal, and then we're going to open it up for some more discussion. We already have some awesome ideas in the chat around how to use music and also these scarves as a way to support development. I would love to hear a couple of folks come off mute and like share a little bit more about a way that they used these concepts in their classroom or in their home. If you've already put in the chat, that's totally fine. You can still unmute and share a little bit, and I will open it up so we can all see each other. Is there anybody who'd be willing to share?
Yes, I'm sorry, but you want to speak?
I was gonna say something.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you can use them for movement. I think I said in the chat numbers where they can count the scars. Dang, now my mind has gone blank. I know I said movement, numbers, colors. I said something else. I don't remember, but yeah, my mind's gone blank now. But thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
And I just wanted to share, I have my nephew here celebrating. So, as I said, I have my nephew here celebrate the remarkable things that he does in his early stages of childhood. Although he's not in the center yet, but there's things that we do at home. I never thought of the scarf idea as many times as we had that scarf around, but just interacting with him with that scarf and letting him just throw it up and watch it fall down, it was so amazing to him. So that just comes to show how the littlest things that we have around our home could be so like entertaining to kids. Like we don't have to spend a whole lot of money just buying this or buying that. It could be the simplest things such as a scarf that could be so entertaining to a child. So
Go ahead.
Okay, this is Loretta. Hi, guys. Hi, that was so amazing to watch her use the scarves. But we've used like the ribbons, because we have ribbons that are on like a bracelet, and the children can wave them around it with movement. And you just, because they tend to flow and move more when they have something tangible that they can see. And then I thought about with the ribbons, we can, as a group activity, they can tie them together, just kind of knot them together in a circle, and they could do a dance or hop over it or hop over it or whatever. So that was just fabulous. So but we do a lot with music. We move to music every day.
Thank you so much, Miss Loretta. And I'm going to go ahead and plug Wednesday while you're here.
Thank you. So it is Wednesday. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So Miss Loretta is going to be leading our storytelling workshop again on Wednesday at 5:30 on this link. So definitely encourage you to join for that. That's going to be amazing. And she'll be reading a new book from Kevin Hopkins as well called Dakota Doesn't Have to Worry. So should be awesome. Anybody else want to share?
I will. I also wanted to add that in my church, we have a group of children that praise dance. So Sunday was Palm Sunday. They dance to the presence of the Lord is here, and they wave the palms. But we also use small flags, we use the scarves, and we use streamers, just plain ribbon. And it keeps children from being bored at church when they're participating. And even music time in school, not being in a classroom as much, but even when I go to the home, I have this spirit of the song, and we're going to sing good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And it's just a little silly song. It's nothing special, but it gets a smile. It's excitement. Miss Margaret coming. Miss Margaret's going to be singing. We're going to be popping up. Just movement. And when you're throwing the ribbons, you're throwing the scarves, you see the force of how it drapes down, the science activity of it. So did you see it when it flowed? Did it fall down? How slowly it moved, how the air made it and the excitement of being a child again. It's so awesome.
Absolutely. I feel like I need to ask you to lead our mindfulness in the future because your voice just super calming. And I felt that scarf floating down as you were describing it too. So
I love that. Again, I do worship at my church. Today I'm a little tired. My voice is tired from yesterday. But I'm grateful. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you for sharing. And there were some questions in the chat about where to get the scarves. I just want to sort of like close out by restating that you can use whatever you have in your home for this. You don't have to go out and buy something new, even with, you know, things floating down. Even if you have a tissue or a small piece of fabric, you can use that, and it may float in a different way, but that's fine. You're still getting the same kind of experience. If you definitely want to go buy something new for this, what I will say is that like the Dollar Tree often has little scarves that you can use. And then you're not spending a wild amount on a small activity. So I know we're at time. It feels like this just went by so quickly, but it was so lovely to kick off Week of the Young Child with you all and to learn with each other about music. I definitely encourage you all to keep sharing your ideas as we get into the rest of this week's activities. But for today, for right now, I'll close this out. And thank you again for being a part of this. I hope you have a great day, y'all.
You have a great day too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
See you guys later.